Could you give us your name?
I'm sorry. My name is Mark Robinson. I live at 4015 Sassafras Court. That's right here in Greensboro. I've lived in Greensboro all my life. I didn't have time to write a fancy speech. I didn't have time to, I didn't have the resource of an English teacher to sit down and write a speech with at school today and be, brought over here or practice or anything. What I really came down here for is this. I've heard a whole lot of people in here talking tonight about this group and that group, and domestic violence and blacks, these minorities and that minority. What I want to know is, when are you all going to start standing up for the majority? And here's who the majority is. I'm the majority. I'm a law-abiding citizen who's never shot anybody, never committed a serious crime, never committed a felony. I've never done anything like that. But it seems like every time we have one of these shootings, nobody wants to put the blame where it goes, which is at the shooter's feet. You want to put it at my feet. You want to turn around and restrict my right, constitutional right that's spelled out in black and white. You want to restrict my right to buy a firearm and protect myself from some of the very people you're talking about in here tonight. It's ridiculous. I don't think Rod Serling could come up with a better script. It does not make any sense. The law-abiding citizens of this community and many communities around this country, we're the first ones taxed and the last ones considered and the first ones punished when things like this happens, because our rights are the ones that are being taken away. That's the reason why I came down here today. Gun show or no gun show, NRA or no NRA. I'm here to stand up for the law-abiding citizens of this community, because I'm going to tell you that what's going to happen. You can take the guns away from us all you want to. You all write a law, I follow the law, I'll bring my guns down here, I'll turn them in. But here's what's going to happen. The Crips and the Bloods on the other side of town, they're not going to turn their guns in. They're going to hold on to them. And what's going to happen when you have to send the police down there to go take them? The police can barely enforce the law as it is. As what I see, we demonize the police, criminalize and vilify the police, and we make the criminals into victims. And we're talking about restricting guns? How are you going to do that? How are you going to do that when the police department's already hamstrung? You're not going to be able to go down here and take these guns from these criminals. So the criminals are going to hold on to their guns. They're still going to have them. They're still going to break in my house, and they're still going to shoot me with them. And guess who's going to be the one that suffers? It's going to be me. Well, I'm here to tell you tonight, it is not going to happen without a fight. And when I say fight, I don't mean shots fired. I don't mean fist thrown. I mean I'm going to come down here to this city council and raise hell just like these loonies from the left do until you listen to the majority of the people in this city. And I am the majority. The majority of the people in this city are law-abiding, and they follow the law, and they want their constitutional right to be able to bear arms. They want to be able to go to the gun show and buy a hunting rifle or a sport rifle. There are no military-grade weapons sold at the gun show. An AR-15 is not a military-grade weapon. Anybody that would go into combat with an AR-15 is a fool. It's a semi-automatic .22 rifle. You'd be killed in 15 minutes in combat with that thing. So we need to dispel all these myths, and we need to drop all this division that we got going on here. Because the bottom line is, when that Second Amendment was written, whether the framers liked it or not, they wrote it for everybody. And I am everybody. And the law-abiding citizens of this city are everybody. And we want our rights, and we want to keep our rights. And by God, we're going to keep them, come hell or high water.
Chaos at Trump Tower as this woman was seen defacing the Black Lives Matter mural. Watch as two cops do what they can to restrain her as she smears the paint with her bare hands.
They say they care about Black lives, and they're saying to defund the police.
Then this happens. One officer slips on the greasy paint. As the officer winces in pain, the woman identified as Bevelyn Beatty doesn't stop.
They don't care. They don't care.
Beatty was charged with criminal mischief and released several hours later, only to go right back at her mischief, this time at the Black Lives Matter mural in Harlem.
We're taking our country back.
The Black Lives Matter mural, painted in giant letters right here in front of Trump Tower, is turning into a regular target of vandalism. Even with constant police presence and these metal barriers, nothing seems to stop them.
Almost unimaginable gun violence erupted across the nation over the holiday weekend. Chicago, 70 injured, 17 killed, including a 7-year-old girl. New York City, 50 shot, 9 dead. This shocking video shows one victim being shot from a car as he walks hand in hand with his 6-year-old daughter. At least 6 of the innocent people caught in the crossfire over the holiday were children, ranging in age from 6 to 14.
You shot and killed a baby.
Atlanta's mayor expressed outrage over the death of 8-year-old Sequoia Turner, who was killed in a shooting near the Wendy's where Rayshard Brooks died 3 weeks ago.
You can't blame this on a police officer. You can't say that this is about criminal justice reform. This is about some people carrying some weapons who shot up a car with an 8-year-old baby in the car.
The little girl's grieving mother was overcome with emotion.
We didn't do anything.
Here in New York City, the shooting spree comes as the mayor and city council members are cutting the budget of the police department by $1 billion. The move follows a nationwide cry to defund the police.
You take a look at what's happened this weekend, the amount of shootings. Imagine if there weren't cops out there.
President Trump tweeted, 67 people shot in Chicago. Shootings up significantly in NYC. Federal government ready, willing, and able to help if asked. The sense of lawlessness sweeping the nation was illustrated by this astonishing video of illegal fireworks across Los Angeles.
At the age of 12 years old, I shot myself. I was in the house. Police knocked on the door. I was right there. They knocked the door down. Everybody jumped over my body to go get the guns and drugs and whatever they could find. It took one guy to stop right there and cuss everybody that hopped over me out. Like, what the fuck are y'all doing? They said, oh, no, we was going to see if it... What the fuck are y'all doing? We called the ambulance. A fucking ambulance? Do you not see this kid on the floor with this hole in his chest? Say, you drive. Pick me up. Brought me to the hospital. He didn't drop me off at the ambulance and say, you take him. He brought me to the hospital room and made 2 and stood there and waited till the doctor said he's gonna make it. He said, don't worry, my name's Uncle Bob. He was white as snow. Them motherfuckers that hopped over me was blacker than me.
Was he a cop?
Yeah, he was a cop, and my life was saved by a white man. I don't know what racism is. I know a good motherfucker named Uncle Bob, though.
Are you gonna get all dressed up?
No, I'm not dressed to be something. When I open my eyes on stage, or when I at a Lil Wayne show, when I come from under the stage, and man, it's the world out there. It's not a certain part, a certain kind, a certain culture, a certain whatever people. It's people, and that's those people out there in that crowd. They made quote unquote, and they make quote unquote Lil Wayne, and that's who I happen to be. And I'm sorry if people can't understand, but I understand why they don't understand. It's because they don't come from the bottom of a stage and look at 20 to 30,000 people. They don't get that opportunity. And I'm blessed to have that opportunity. So with that said, I can only be honest about such a thing. And I don't understand. I've never witnessed racism.